it is.
You're not sure.
I am. Hit reset or refresh. What? Unpause it. Okay. Something's happening. I can hear something.
Yeah.
Okay, so sound is working.
Yep, sound is working.
It's acting kind of wacky though. Appear to be having some issues with the stream connection because Cox.
Yes.
Very well named company. Okay, you can go ahead and turn off the volume. There we go. Okay. So, from here. Man, what the heck am I doing? Alright, I'm going to go up here and get the rest of these little missions out of the way. Had to reset the camera. The green screen fell on me. So we had to reset everything. It's too bad I didn't get that on camera. That would have been absolutely fantastic video.
Was showing you to be headless, huh?
No, I just the universe would have fallen in on me, collapsed on me. Jamail is nowhere to be seen. You had best report your findings, or lack thereof, to Gungun.
So what happened to him?
I don't
Not know, but I suppose there indeed.
Seriously, bro? Okay. If I'm going to be traveling with you, I need to set this up properly.
Indeed. While you were gone, I inspected the treasure. Inside was a scroll that shows the Nabat royal family tree, and the last Malik's name was Jamail. It can only mean one thing. That it really is the last Malik's ghost. He must find our treasure so he could pass on to the afterlife. We must inform Father. If there are ghosts wandering about, he needs to warn everyone.
I don't know, it seemed awful corporeal for a ghost. Go grab these. Since Alice did ask us to stand guard. Thank you. That one down. Two more to go. That's the spot. Yes, exactly. I got the sprout light monster. Thank you. Alright. What do we got here? Oh, nothing there. Okay. Off these ways. There we go. Ooh, hi. You look like a meanie. And there we have it. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and turn in this thing up here, just so I have it finished, and then I'll head back to Alice and see what else needs to be done there. Appreciate you running interference for me. As a rule, even though I'm really, really slow, I can outrun most of these things. It's all right. I was really weirded out whenever my chicken enchilada tasted like the texture was really off. Like it was slices. Like really small slices of chicken, and then it was mushroom enchilada. I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense.
I'm not sure what Father would make of these goings on, but I must tell him what I saw, or rather, what we did not see. Peter, you've been assisting my son with his work, yes? It is true, Father, but we have grim tidings.
Master again, might I have a... Oh, there they are. Whatever's the matter?
Do not come any closer.
Excuse me.
Keep away from me, you spirits.
I beg your pardon. I may be rather long in the tooth, but I'm still very much alive. Thank you very much. Where did you go whenever we were doing the thing you wanted us to do? So we came to the conclusion I was a ghost of the last relic on the basis that we have the same name. Perhaps we'd best put this misunderstanding down to an overactive imagination. The middle of the night, the last Malik was my grandfather. I was named after him, which makes me Jamail the 10th.
So you're Nabat royalty. Oh, it all makes sense now, I think. But why did you disappear like that?
I tried to tell you I was going to return to Mordsuk to repair our reward, though it seems you did not hear me. All that scrabbling about the dirt must have drowned out my voice.
Oh, sorry about that. I will listen harder from now on.
In any case, I'm incredibly grateful to both of you. I've learned much of thy people in their exodus from the flood.
But there must be many, many more shinies for us to find. And that is not all. I want to know more of the history of the Mord and their friendship with the Nabat. And it's my duty as the future leader of the Mord Sok. I cannot leave the treasures buried in the desert, or let the stories of our ancestors be forgotten. Let us work together to unearth the past.
Master Gin, you've raised a fine son.
And he will be a great leader one day, if we can avoid working himself to an early grave.
Gun, there are many relics waiting to be discovered, but there's no need to rush. They will not crumble away to nothing while you're resting. Come, we have much to discuss.
Bye-bye. Oh, good. Where are your manners? Peter, I'm so sorry. He's forgotten to express his gratitude. Please, allow me on his behalf. Thank you. But I was wondering, between all that digging, did he find time to rest?
Ish. Three Night World silver pieces. Interesting. Alright, we'll go back down to Alice, have a chat with her. Oh no, I died. You could almost see the waifu. She's hiding just off screen. If she took off this week to spend spring break with me gaming. Good times. Mm-hmm. Shadowbringers.
Shadowbringers.
So how did you fare?
Well, you know, this, that, the other.
Ah, I thought there might be one or two lurking in the fringes. Nothing out of the ordinary for this area. I expect you noticed it yourself, but individually, these lesser sin-eaters are no more deadly than your natural predator you might encounter in the desert. Very nice of her. I thought so. It's when they appear in numbers they pose a threat. Much like the void scent, they have an unfortunate tendency to flock to the strongest of their kind. Thus, when a powerful sin-eater goes on the hunt, it might be attended by a veritable swarm of weaker kin. Imagine an army of such creatures descending on a village or a hamlet. That's the basic idea behind my patrols. To cull their ranks often enough that their numbers won't be overwhelming when the big ones come out to play. And you've certainly helped out on that front. Let's report our victories to Teslim, shall we?
You are a big bad.
Alice tells me you helped out on her patrol. You have our thanks, and my apologies for leading you on one battle after another since the moment we met. In any case, I'm glad to see the two of you found each other. You have no idea how badly Alice has missed your company. Everything is always a Pieter here. He would... That is an exaggeration, and I don't sound like that either. I was simply trying to view matters from another perspective, and I respect Pieter's method. Honestly, after seeing him in action, I understand why. The way he leaps into the fray without hesitation really is something to behold. Might be a little smitten myself. I'm only teasing. Though I have no doubt he deserves all the admiration he gets, just as you do.
So many missions. Yeah. And then back to Sage.
I'd love to learn a welcome mat, but the duties I put off when I went to the market are still waiting for me. Oh, there's 101 things I need doing. I'm sorry, but would you mind waiting here with Alice? What, and twiddle our thumbs while you work yourself to death? Surely there's something we can help you with.
You're going to get so many chests.
Awesome.
I've gotten quite a few already.
I could do with a hand, it's true. Thank you. You can start by helping me out with the larder, Alice. While we do that, could you tend to a few patients, perhaps? There are 3 in particular I mean to visit. It's just a matter of saying a few words to them, and seeing that their skin isn't caked in sand. Their names are Paulnil, Todden, and Halric. They may not give much in the way of response, but I promise they'll be pleased to meet someone new.
Hey there, Paulnil. Turning into a monster, huh?
Thank you.
Excuse me, but I was wondering if you... Wrong voice.
Excuse me, I was wondering if you could help.
One of the merchants of Moksok was on his way, bringing much-needed supplies. The problem is, the wares we are offering in exchange have yet to arrive. If it were anyone else, they could be persuaded to wait, but this particular Mort has a reputation for being extremely impatient. He's even been known to call off deals for the smallest of quibbles. I'd be grateful if you could find out what's causing this delay. While you search for the porter, I'll try to buy something. Try to buy some time. That makes a lot more sense. Many things. The delivery is expected to come from the southwest. Godspeed. Bleary-eyed guard. Doesn't look like he's doing well.
You're one of Alice's friends, aren't you? I hear that you lot have a knack for putting down troublesome beasts.
I'm not sure that includes the supernatural, but walking corpses known as the Gilman, have been running around muck outside the south entrance to grab anyone who wanders too close and drag them under the sand. I almost fell victim to them myself, but I was lucky to escape. Thing is, I dropped my mother's pendant as I fled. I'll do anything to get it back. She was a patient here, you see. That's all I have to remember her by. Luckily, we found that enchanted darts, shot from a blowgun, send the Gilman back to whatever hell they crawled from. My plan is to rush in, grab the pendant, and while you shoot those undead bastards from a distance. So, will you help me? Of course I will. I knew you would. Come on, let's get this over with. Back a ways. Instead of all of these. Looking for work by any chance? Always. Supposed to be draining water out of the plants for these siphons, but I could use some help. As you've probably noticed, the whole area is lousy with all sorts of hostile creatures, which means it's not a job for the faint of heart. I'd be fine if siphoning the water didn't take so long. While I'm waiting, I'm easy prey. If you can go in my place, I'll see that you're properly rewarded. What's up, Runrick?
Just give a moment. Please keep this to yourself. One of my men has been acting strangely of late.
I'm sure you can appreciate there are certain things that the guards here, myself included, may not wish to discuss openly. I'd hope that you, as an outsider, may be able to find out what's troubling him. He's currently stationed a short distance south of here. If you could lend him your ear, I'd be most grateful. Alright. And back over here. What's up, toddler? Let me just fix your hair real quick. Totem glances at you blankly. You notice the tension in his face ease slightly. What's up, Howard? Howard remains utterly still as you wipe the sand from his cheek. Gee, you look kind of pale there, bud. The texture of your skin is hardened to something akin to plaster. He's about to zone before. You've seen the patients. How are they? That last one looked kind of, spooky. Good. That's good. I knew they'd enjoy meeting you. I'm concerned about Halric, though. I'll have to speak with the other curs, but I think his time may be near. We should leave you to that discussion, then. I was going to take Pieter to Mord Souk, if you have any errands there that need doing. I suppose there's the one thing. Would you pick up a nectarine in the markets, please? Cassard's caravan just passed through, so run. Should have some fresh fruit. Come on, Pieter. There's something I want you to see. Right after we stop at Run-One's stall, of course. Oh man, I've got so many things to do out here. Lots of little busy work things. You know how it is. People meet me and they're like, hey, could you, take out my garbage? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And another guy is like, hey, could you wipe down this floor? And I'm like, okay. Next one's like, change my baby's diapers. I'm like, oh all right, fine. Fairly certain I dropped the pendant by these ruins over there. As soon as I found it, I'll race back to the inn. In the meantime, I'll need you to keep the Gilman off my back. Here goes nothing. Well, hopefully I can keep this guy from dying. If any Gilman appear, hit them with the darts. If you miss, he dies. Mommy! Sniper Pieter. Clearly that was not the best job for him. Fine.
It's like, you can't hit the button. Sorry.
Third time's the charm. Guy only died twice. It's fine. And the sun sets. JK, LOL. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. Is there something you want? Mm-hmm. Not really. Wilford says, bloody hells, am I that far behind schedule? Anyway, these sacks contained half of our deal. Maybe a bit more than that. I got carried away and bought too much to carry for myself. It's a miracle I made it this far. Do you think you could help me cover the last stretch of the journey? Not far to go now. These things are heavy. So watch your back. Remember, bend at the knees. Transport the sack to the expected moored merchant to the inn at Journey's Head within the allotted time. You have 60 seconds to complete the task. Should you fail, come back. Beware of enemies. They will sap your strength. I'm going the wrong way. What's important is decisiveness. It's not, are you going the right way? It's, are you going fast enough? I got lots of practice doing this with Beast Tribe quests.
Late. If your vendor not pour such delicious tea, I would have taken my ways back to Mount Suk. Next time, you won't be so lucky.
The near thing, if I ever saw one, I dread to think what we'd do without these supplies. There's some truth in that. Although, I must say, I didn't expect you'd be able to end up carrying the goods here yourself. That sack was full of adobe bricks, you know. Considering that they only made of clay mixed with water and straw, they last an incredibly long time. Even those excavated from the ruins are still perfectly adequate for building work. In fact, the Mord planned to use them in repairing their windmills. Still, bricks are bricks. Far from the easiest things to carry over long distances. Perhaps next time, we'll send more than one person to transport them. Now that I think about it, the whole thing is very poorly planned. We're lucky you had you here to help us on this occasion. Hopefully, it won't happen again.
You're right. You're lucky you know me. I'm the Warrior of Light, dang it.
You're the what? Nothing. I'm fine. Hi. Bye. They didn't like you very much, did they? And best of all, I got the pendant. You know, I've never seen such fine aim with a blowgun.
Really?
Only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise. The secret, though, lies in the darts. They were excavated from the ruins of Nabath Arak. According to historians, the same darts were used by the Nabath to destroy Gilman all those years ago. They were the stockpiles of the things, in fact. Anyway, that's enough about ancient history for one day. More importantly, I'd like to thank you for all you've done. Please accept this as thanks and give Alistair my regards, the Warrior of Brick Carrier. Yep. That's me. It is great, though, you introduce yourself, and it's like, I'm sorry? You say you're the cursed Warrior of Light? Kill him! I'm just going to go far enough for these things to give up. And then come back. I hit all the buttons. Brass siphon. I tried to do brass siphon first, and it wouldn't do it because it was too far away. And then I tried to give it a bill of mark. Where it kind of messes this place up. I mean, it really did. You mean you're the cursed Warrior of Light? Get him! Man, they sure move like ancient lizards. Timid guard. What brings you all the way out here? Well, you know, this, that, the other. So you've been talking to Ramrick. Well, if you must know, I was thinking about leaving this place. It's all getting too much for me. I feel like I was losing my mind one day at a time. Me and one of the others were planning to making a clean break, putting the inn behind us. But after seeing you and Alice, I changed my mind. I'm staying here, at least for the time being. Could you give me a message to my friend? He's the one I'm going to run away with, the Galgian chap. I'm not sure exactly where he'll be, but the watchman south and east of the inn should know. Tell him I'm staying. I'd go myself, but I can't abandon my post. Please, I've got to let them know. All right. Go here, go there. Hey. It's an MMORPG. Yes, going to another dimension with a Warrior of Light actually completely ruined this place is very humorous. I'm just not thinking, introduce myself as the Warrior of Light, and everyone's like, what? Gouging bloke on patrol. You just missed him, I'm afraid. Said he wanted a breath of fresh air, so he went for a stroll. I tried telling him there's no fresher up there than it is up here, but would he listen? Would he? Bollocks. Anyway, last I saw him, he was heading north. Now, well, first, I'm going to do this over here, and then I'll go check on that guy. So easy to go the wrong direction. At least we've abandoned the maze-like stuff that we had to deal with before. It's a very sparkly dragon. Finished already? Yep, here's your succulent secretions. I'm not judging. Very impressive. I'm sure you haven't done this before. Now, you might be wondering why we go through the effort of siphoning from plants. There are easier ways to get water, after all. Well, this stuff has a certain sweetness that comes in handy when making medicines. They tend to taste quite bitter, so this takes the edge off. Not that it makes the treatments any more effective, but the patients certainly seem to appreciate it. You have our thanks. The dragon mount is from a Shadowbringer's extreme trial. Good stuff. There's a lot of really cool stuff that you can get. I appreciate the mounts you can get. I appreciate being able to pick up really cool stuff. Fallen Guard. You all right, buddy? I remember you. One of Alice's friends. Staying? Wrong voice.
I thought so too. That's why I left by myself. Reckon I'd get a bit further before me attacked by beasts, though. Just my bloody luck. Can you tell him I went alone? That I got away? I wouldn't want him to blame himself. It's my own fault. He was set on staying, but I talked him into leaving. Should have listened to him.
Would I have to visit your mansion? Definitely would do that. Try to get through the game first, but yeah, I definitely will have to go visit a mansion. Hi, your friend died and it's your fault. Uh-huh. Apparently. There are a lot of residences that you can go do things and stuff. Things and stuff. Hey there, timid guard. Your friend is lying dead, right over there. So, did you give him the message? He's gone. You say it like that, it almost sounds as if... Oh, I see. Still, I stand by my decision. It's the right thing to do, and I know it. Come to think of it, Renwick is probably wondering what's going on. If it's not too much to ask, would you mind speaking with him? Nothing good comes from lying. Yeah. Nice airship. Is that so? Better than both of them being killed. We should be thankful for small mercies. In any case, I appreciate what you've done for us. See, by not lying to him, now he's not going to go off searching for his friend one day. Well, I better escape and go find my friends. And now, no, your friend is dead. I'm saying outrun all this stuff. Discretion's the better part of cowardice. Hey, everyone. We're just meeting up with you before the inevitable horrible thing happens.
Oh, back again, are you? You need another taste of Run's wares?
I would love to have some of your soggy bread.
Actually, we were trying to buy a nectarine. Do you have any in stock? Oh, yes, nectarines, peaches, grapes, fresh and juicy. Given how richly you cracked your coin purse with me, I might still owe you food. Here, take this one, free of charge.
Thanks.
God, I've never seen a Maud merchant give away something for nothing before. How much coin did you spend here?
Just one cold coin.
Oh, yes, I'll take a jar of honeyed worms as well.
Yeah, pass.
Oh, no, they're not for me. It's an offering of sorts.
A likely story.
The worms, if you please. Only the best regulars for you. Come again, my friend. Right, that's our shopping chores taken care of. Let's head back past the Earthers to the main tower. The view I can show you will only be seen from its very top.
I may need to take a different title. Peter the White. I don't know that that'll work well here. Nah, we'll keep it.
Here are your precious worms. That buys us a trip to the top of the tower, does it not? Glazed regulars. Oh, you actually brought them. I really shouldn't let you, but... Oh, just this once. All right, just once. Only once.
Never fails.
Shall we?
So everything the light touches is our kingdom, huh? Seems like a pretty good deal for me.
Look, over there, where the wall is broken.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what lies beyond?
Looks like a big... Huh. A big sea of, like... salt or something, and then
That's
darkness.
what the land became after the light flooded in. An empty, white nothingness. Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance.
Could you turn my screen back on? Thanks.
That nectarine you bought, it's Halric's favorite fruit. Most of the patients, Halric included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters, but their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light.
What the heck is even light?
The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true. Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn.
Seemed unfortunate.
Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food. In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals. I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough. But it's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed?
Yes, I do. You left me.
Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons.
He said that too. Indeed.
But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield.
It's one of those apocalypses. It's like a almost like a viral apocalypse.
So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here.
A calamity, if you will.
And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless. On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
So our little jaunt ended up causing the guy to turn, right? That's what ends up happening? That's how these stories usually go. I'm glad I was able to show you that. When it comes to understanding the catastrophe that befell the first, one glimpse of the empty wasteland beyond the wall is worth more than an hour of Urianje's lecturing. And I needed you to know beyond a doubt that Tesleen has no other choice. The nectarine will be a kindness. It isn't just the threat posed to others. When a person becomes an eater, the pain appears to be excruciating. The carers are truly fond of their wards and would spare them that suffering. It is their way of fighting back against a fate worse than death. It would be a welcome change in the storytelling technique if we actually got to go back and witness that we're sparing this person turning by killing them. But usually these stories don't go that way. Just a sec. What am I missing? Oh, I was missing the two crystals that I used, the material crystals. You're back. I hope you had a nice time. Did you manage to find a nectarine? Here you go. I am pleased with the writing here, but they didn't take that obvious answer. Thank you. Alice has explained why I wanted this, has she? I can see it in your eyes. But we may not need it just yet. I spoke with the others, and we've decided to keep an eye on Halric for now. Bless you, dear. Thanks to you, though, if his time does come suddenly, we're ready to send him on his way with a taste of happier days. Well, nothing's going to happen for a short while yet, so let's see if we can't lighten the mood. We don't want our gloomy faces worrying the patients. I think it's time for that welcome meal, don't you? Take a seat, and I'll make us a nice stew. You need to make sure I don't accidentally mix in the rat poison that I usually give the people that are about to turn. It's just so easy to put that in the meals.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
And you've added something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs.
The extra flavor's rat poison. I'll have another bowl then.
Are you poisoning yourself?
Not on purpose.
That's what I like to hear. Give me a moment to warm up the pot.
She made us food instant way to my heart. People that can cook are amazing.
In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get. I remember when I first came here with my mother. She was showing the early signs. I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way of it for most people. Why they travel from arms to stay here. Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable, to receive the mercy of a painless death. When my mother finally left this world, I was mad with grief, but also thankful that her passing was a peaceful one.
Everyone's staring at the beach. This is a metaphor, isn't it?
It's never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrent could tell you a version of it. Warrior of Darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely. He sounds rather ominous.
Well, in a place where doom is for everyone, a pleasant doom is one people would look forward to.
Do you think so? I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the Sin Eaters.
They're coming.
They?
Desleen! Have you seen Halric? I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
could have seen this coming. Peter, Alice say, we have to go look for Alaric. I don't know what's gotten into him, but he's wandered out there alone. We'll assign search areas and split up. Any idea where he could be headed? No, he's never done anything like this before. But it can't be a coincidence that the other patients are suddenly so agitated. They can sense something. Uh-oh is correct. In any case, let's keep the search close to the inn. Alaric isn't very sure on his feet, so he won't have gone far. I'll search the east side. Please, Alaric. Please be all right. I'll cover the north and the west, then. You take everything from here to the south. All right. Time for a Southland adventure. Journey to the south. See no sign of Alaric. Maybe he went further west. I had already activated that. Scan the surroundings in search of Alaric and finally find yourself under attack. That was a wrong button. Where I'm at? Time to continue searching for Alaric. The time left to us. I dig this battle music. Not gonna lie. Very beautiful music in general.
Any sign of him? No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far. We should keep looking. The Sin Eaters are out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will.
I think he'll join them. Not be eaten by them.
Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones. Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. After it!
There it is!
Is that...
Oh no!
He's about to be knighted.
Alaric! We have to run! Tesleen! No!
We all deserve happiness, wherever we can find it. The time left to you is precious. No one should die in pain. Mother, I...
No!
So this place is horrible. Bruni Raid, thank you, Bruni Raid, thank you, Bruni. Welcome. We're having a horrible time.
Brought 8 people.
Appreciate you guys. Welcome. You know, we're here in Shadowbringers, and yeah, we just had a lovely scene.
Yep.
Hi. Welcome all. Rated it quite the time.
Yes.
Hello. How's the game?
Wow.
It's a fantastic game. We've got to the zombie portion of the game. Just got to that point in the story and it sucked, right? I'm sorry, Pieta. I tried to tell the Karas what happened, but I can't be the shoulder to lean on. Not like this. My heart. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. Freaking called it. I'm trying to buffer myself against it. It's just like okay. It's
I went a
just so
different
unfair.
You went to see LSA first. I went to see Alpha No first.
Mm-hmm. Poor you and Naz, yeah. Yeah. All right. What voice do we have for this character? It's okay to feel, you know. I'm trying not to, all right? It's hard to voice when you're feeling emotions. Okay. Tesleen was always so cheery with the patients. Yeah, give me a minute. It's like Harshafan all over again for me. Now, this is much worse than Harshafan. I knew this girl for 10 minutes, and this is so much worse than Harshafan for me. Not as bad as Moonbrita. Moonbrita really actually like ticked me off. Because I'm like, no, this is stupid. Why are we... Smile better suits a Sin Eater. No. Ah, that's one was always so cheery with the patients. Telling them not to be scared, that there wouldn't be any pain. Gosh, you're laying it on thick, guys. I remember that. Of all the people in the world to suffer such a fate. Remember that? I'm sorry, I'm terrible. Yeah. Why is this the light? That's what Peter would be like. Why is this the light? Everyone says it's the light. I don't think this is the light. This clearly is not the light. I imagine you're just as shocked as the rest of us. I appreciate what you're doing here. Me, I can barely. I don't have the words. Without a body, we can't even give her a proper burial. She cared about that sort of thing. Like giving people the chance to say their goodbyes. Yep. Yeah, I'm trying not to feel the feelings so that I can actually voice this stuff. And it's horrific. It's horrible. Howard, however, doesn't give a shit. Unresponsive as ever, he stands motionless, staring up into the sky where the Sin Eaters made their escape. It's Hecht, right? Gonna give him that peach now? No? Alright, let's just wait until he gets everybody. I've spoken with the carers. Thank you. What you're doing, it means a lot to them. To me. Sorry to interrupt. We realized we hadn't thanked you for rescuing Howard. You weren't hurt at all, were you? Hurt? That wasn't even a fight. I was too late. I was too slow. And I thought I could protect you. You can't blame yourself for these things beyond your control. You brought Howard back safe and sound, and no one could have done any more. I'm sorry, but I've come to a decision. I won't be continuing my role here. I hope you'll forgive me for leaving you, and that you'll delay Halrick's last meal for as long as you possibly can. Not until it's too late, of course. Just give him what time you can. We always do. We're actually thinking about giving it to him right now, but okay, we'll wait for a bit. Of course. She would have done the same. Farewell, Halrick. Keep Teslene's words close to your heart. Yes, I also want to stare off into nothingness. Wait, you're leaving this very moment? I understand how you must feel, but surely this is all a bit hasty. Do you even have anywhere to go? I have a destination in mind, yes. And a purpose. This damned light. Building without cease. It's the reason we can't save those corrupted by the Ethers. But what if we corrected the balance? Even if it were only little by little, even if it took years, it would surely make things better. Now, hold on there. Everyone knows there's too much light. But how could you ever hope to get rid of it? You'd have to change the whole world. That's right. We should return to the Crystarium. I may not be able to repel the Eaters on my own, but I can still use the skills I've gained here to hurt them. Quest accepted. Man, what a horrible place this is. We're having a good time here. Oh, all right, let's go. Yeah, as far as how Piotr would react to all of this, he's such a freaking zealot about the light. He would just be like, oh, I don't think this is actually the light. I think this is something else. You guys have mislabeled this. There's no way this is the light. This can't possibly be the light. Quite an start for an expansion, right? That's just right out of the gate. Bang. Okay. You didn't need that heart, did you? Nah, you don't need that heart. You'll be fine without it. First stage, denial. Right? Yep, that is exactly where Piotr would be right now. I don't think you've considered all the options. There's no way this is actually the light. We gotta figure out what this actually is. Man, that was quite the opening salvo. Just deep breaths. Recover emotionally from this.
Forgive me, Piotr. I couldn't stay there a moment longer.
I totally get it.
I was serious about what I said. While the men and women at the inn battle against this blight with kindness, I must fight in my own way. With steel. This Alice says, anything I can get you. Your swiftest tomorrow. I need to return to the Crystarium. Immediately. As you wish.
Back to the Crystarium.
Ugh. Remind me to wear goggles if I ever flew over Amber Erg again. I've barely gotten the sand out of my eyes. But the wind did help clear my head, at least. I think I'm ready to meet with the XR. We need to talk about how we're going to wipe the Sin Eaters out. Shall we?
Now, this was so much easier when I was just ignoring the problems of this world. I'd like to go back to that. Is that an option? Oh, hold on. I think I tried to get this thing earlier and I couldn't. Get right over here, maybe? Perhaps? Ish? Bit? Dang it! Fine. Peter isn't in the business of ignoring people who need him. You are exactly right. You really are. You there. Looks as if you used something to occupy yourself with. Otherwise you wouldn't touch those brown quests. Right! I received this flyer soliciting help from Sprigix, but I'm far too busy with my own duties to contribute. It seemed a shame to not let it pass out on, though, so do good work there. Vital work. If you're interested in offering your assistance, you'll find Sprigix just southwest of here. Faye Hahn will be more than willing to explain the specific tasks that volunteering would entail. Good day, sir. What brings you here? Yeah, I'm supposed to be, like, advertising or something? Oh, a survey, is it? In that case, I shall gladly tell you the facility. Here in ballistics, we store and maintain the weaponry used in the defense of the Crystarium. Before you, you see the pride and joy of the crystal cannons. These truly inspiring pieces of artillery unleash blasts of pure aether drawn from the crystal itself. The destructive power they boast will even obliterate most sin-eaters, if you can believe it. It's slightly unfortunate they're so difficult to aim, I will admit, but that's nothing like the addition of a few more cannons can't solve. Just trying to dodge a dozen different blasts coming in your general direction, you creepy bastards. Yeah. That's the idea, anyway. I suppose I should let you get on with the touring of the other facilities, but if you got any more questions, you know where to find me. I am still reeling. Trying to regain my composure from that, man. Like, I saw it coming, it was still so much more horrible than I thought it would be.
You don't appear to have any gaping wounds. Are you here for a tincture, perhaps? If so, I'm afraid it will take some time to prepare.
Here's a flyer for you.
You've come in answer to our plea for help? Oh, thank goodness. We don't have nearly enough manpower to keep up with the demand for poultices and restoratives at the present, and I constantly fear as if I'm mere moments away from losing my wits from the stress of it. In fact, are you available to start right away? I'm in urgent need of someone who might go to the Hortorium and for some more Don Fay tail cuttings and nectar. I'm sure, if you're unsure what to look like, never fear. Linnea will direct you to the correct plant.
All right. I'm gonna forget about her anytime soon. I never did. Yeah. I can kind of sense that. One of those things that stays with you long after you finish the game, and it hangs around. Oh, that's upstairs. Are you kidding me? Ah, all right. Let's do this at least.
The face is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery?
Here's a thing for Alice. What's his name? What's his name? My brain is totally gone. Alfinal, that's it.
Signed by the XIV, no less. Well, yes. I can provide you with the Amaro for the passage to Kamusha. I'll pick you out a friendly one.
Amaro often used for travel, then?
That's right. Mounts like my great grey over there are common sight in these parts. And I gather you hail from a further afield, more accustomed to chocobos, perchance. I hear there are a few places where they ride, and little else. So you're plainly unaccustomed to riding a Amaro. I think it best to accompany you on this flight myself. Any Zune worthy of the name would do it, of course. But the Exarch sent you to me. Ensuring you arrive safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Amaro launch. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I ready the mounts. Yes, this is a Tamara's rookery, where we breed, raise, and train beasts of burden. You might have noticed the staff is primarily Zune. That's because, as a former nomadic tribe, the Zune developed a majority of the techniques for Amaro husbandry. They're still in practice today, and many of us are trained in them from an early age. I personally pride myself not only in knowledge of my trade, but also the ability to impart it to others. Much easier to learn something than to teach it. But unless each of us makes the effort to do both, all of our ancestors strove for will someday be lost to time. That you may have come here and gazed at me with such bright and eager eyes. It can only mean one thing. You, sir,
are an aspiring breeder. No need to be embarrassed. It's perfectly natural to take an interest in the mating habits of livestock. Why, we even watch all the time. Those secrets are not for the uninitiated, I'm afraid. You'll need to start with the basics, and that means cleaning the stables. Makes a good point. Yep. If you're not constantly learning, you are forgetting. You are constantly forgetting. Unsavory slime. Man, I can't wait to get my hands on that. Almost as good as the soggy bread. Clean the rookery. Harder to teach than it is to learn? I mean, that's true. Half-chewed herb. You have to want to learn, though. It's generally easier to want to teach than it is to learn. To want to teach than it is to want to learn. But it's harder to actually teach than it is to actually learn. So it's straw. We cleaned up the rookery. That's the spirit. Now take this pungent sack. It's for Azarella waits receive. Right up there, man. Alright, whatever. Alright, all Lindsay. Predatomorphism. Indeed. Oh, new assistant for the Spriggets, are you? And what can I help you with today? I'm supposed to be, like, asking you questions, like, for some kind of survey or something? Ah, Don Freytails, naturally. These are the brightly colored bush-like plants that you see. I recommend you take a cutting from the tallest one. We've been quite successful in encouraging the growth of late, but you needn't worry about taking what you require. As for the nectar, you'll need to ask one of the researchers at the cauldron for that. It's a bit too difficult for an amateur to extract. Since it seems it's your first time encountering them, it may interest you to hear that the Dawn Fatal is one of the few plants that have survived from the time before the flood. Then they were kept solely for their beauty, which I agree is quite remarkable. In the time since the flood, however, you've experimented with various cultivars to intensify their healing properties, and they are now used in a variety of medicines. I hope that gives you a bit of appreciation for the sort of work done here, though I apologize for the digression. I'm sure you'll be wanting to get back to Spriggets as soon as possible. Oh yes, helping the waifu is much appreciated. Hey, over. Okay. Filling in the what in questing?
The map.
Map. Ah. I appreciate you. Go ahead. I'm Spriggets, are you? One moment, please. It's a crucial moment in observing the results of this experiment. Don't mind me. Continue with your alchemy. There appears to be very little difference how these fertilizer components interact. It's a delicate balance, so perhaps the measurements were off. But we should also consider whether the temperature that's causing the problem. Ah well, Fatal Nectar, was it? Here you are. Have care that you put it in with good use. Pardon me, might you be the Crystal Exarch's esteemed guest? I'd like to borrow your expertise, if you have a moment to spare. Sure, why not? There's a boy, you see, frequents the cabinet regularly. Like so many of his peers, he's never experienced the world outside the Crystarium, and so he comes here to catch glimpses of it in the pages of time-worn books. I'm certain that he truly desires to learn of the living, breathing world, however. The world as it is today, for the eyes of one who has seen it. Why don't you share your experience with him? I believe you'll find him just up the stairs. Hey there, curious child. What's up?
You're from far away? And can you tell me what the world outside is like? Pretty, please?
Sure, it's a barren wasteland.
Oh, then, can you tell me about the animals? There are a lot, right? Father says they're all dangerous, though. Is that true?
They're all dangerous and scary.
Really? Oh. What about what it looks like? Does the whole world look like Lakeland?
Some of it's more different than you could ever imagine.
Oh, I understand. Then what about traveling? Mother says it's not worth it. There's nothing to see out there. It's too dangerous. But I want to go on adventures. What do you think?
It can be dangerous. It's always worthwhile.
I see. It does seem pretty dangerous out there, but I still want to know more about the world. Maybe I'll see for it myself someday. Thank you for letting me ask you questions, and please tolerate that I'm going home. I have a lot of work to do. I wonder if Father will let me practice with his axe.
Definitely practice a lot before you leave. Poor kid. Oh, can I assist you with locating a particular volume? I've forgotten what I'm here for. Could you accept you to learn of the Cabinet of Curiosity? Oh yeah, that was it. Very well. I shall endeavor to grant you insight into its purpose. Many books that surround you have been collected from every corner of Novart. Tomes of philosophy, history, art, but also fairy tales and personal memoirs. Any written work, regardless of its level of sophistication and monetary value, is a significant if small portion of our collective knowledge, and that knowledge as a whole is what the cabinet contains. Of course, there are others far more versed in the depth and breadth of the collection than I. Have you spoken with Morin? Excellent. Well, if ever you are interested in perusing tomes pertaining to a particular subject, either he or I would be more than happy to assist you. And for our part, would welcome the addition of any volumes that you may happen upon during your travels. Okay, that was the wrong move. Let's try that again. Maybe it's further down? There it is. Yes, I saw him dash past, eyes twinkling. I do believe in the magic in the written word. How could I not? It's not quite the same as meeting someone who's actually been there, who himself is part of the wider world. I've never ventured far from the Crystarium myself, you see, so I know the wonder and fascination that comes from hearing the fireside tales of travelers. I have my personal gratitude for sharing a bit of that with our young friend here today. Let's get some mending on real quick. Oh, no mending necessary. Okay. Hello, Elroth. Hold a moment, sinner. You're not from around here, are you? A fellow wandering soul, an eternal inhabitant of the road. I thought so. Erloth's the name. My aspiration is to travel the whole wide world. It's a fair bit smaller than it used to be. As far as dreams go, it's a lot more realistic than you might think. But danger still lurks in every corner and around every bend. Even so, this sinner's got nerves of steel. He's a born explorer, Olaf. There's no land too distant or place too forbidden. Aye, bless you. Now what is it I spy poking out of your pack? A log, if I'm not mistaken. Give it over, if you would. There you go. Aha, I thought so. A record of fantastic vistas and unforgettable sights. We're kindred spirits somehow with a feather. Excellent, excellent. Bless you again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It is only right that I share with you such wondrous experiences as you have with me. A collection of amazing vistas I catalogued myself that I can guarantee will rival the best you have ever seen. Norwald may be a shadow of its former glory, but there's still joy and excitement to be found, if you know where to look, my friend. So I implore you, look, look, look. Follow in my footsteps. Savor every moment of the journey. And then, when you feel that you've discovered every secret this realm has to offer, start again. I promise you won't be disappointed. Sightseeing log expanded. Shadowbringer entry has been added to the sightseeing log. Must be a disciple of War Magic level 70 or above to record Shadowbringer vistas. Travel to a location indicated and fulfill the necessary conditions, and you'll complete the entry of that vista, earning experience points in the process. Use your wits and notes provided by your luck, and identify these stunning sights in proper ways to appreciate them. And see Nervarts as only the greatest explorers have seen her. Now you're gonna make this hard, aren't you? Yes, you are. Okay. Well... Morrow Tamer. Okay, before I do this, a Morrow Tamer, I'm going to use the restroom. We'll be right back. I am still struggling.
It just hit me really hard in the feels.
Let's continue.
You want to fly tomorrow to Calusa? Well, I suppose the Master Jamal is going with you. Wait here, please. The Master should be along with the mounts shortly.
You now travel to Calusa, speaking of the aspiring Amaro trainer, to fly to the island.
I just did.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
Calusia. And see, I'm over here thinking, is the reason that the tide was stopped was because time was frozen. The way he said, time stands still, makes me wonder about that.
We've arrived. It's a cracked shell beach, the eastern coast of Calusia. You should be safe here for the present. Compared with the mainland, Sin Eater attacks are far less prevalent. And the native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. It is the people you should be wary of here. Spy that city in the distance. That is Ilmor, the island's main settlement. It rivals the Crystarium in size. It only once an ally in our battle against the abominations. For years, the Amorian elite have fancied themselves the master of what remains of our broken world. They've gone as far as to offer the leaders of other settlements their protection, if we but bend the knee. But to say their ideals were questionable would be putting it mildly. The Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority. And while we are not at war, our relationship with Ilmar is strained, at best. It may be wise to conceal your ties with the XIV during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city.
I'm actually bad at politics.
I'm glad we understand each other. Now, the XIV has instructed me to divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely. You head south along the coast. You'll eventually come to a fisherman's shack.
And the sun goes down. Just kidding.
A friend of the Crystarium lives there. A man who goes by the name of Ivor. Ivor keeps an eye on everything that happens in Calusia, and we'll be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of thyme and let him know you can be trusted. Yeah, this will be enough. Find your friend. I'll stay here with the Amaro until you're ready to return.
I do believe you're correct. In this island, it gets brighter when the sun goes down.
Well, the first time we noticed it, it got a little dim and then back to bright. But that was like a quick start.
Right. Here, it gets dim and then gets brighter. That's right, I can't fly here. Right?
What are you after? Fish? Crab? Think I've got an eel in a barrel somewhere if you have a taste for them.
There's some time.
Oh, I do love a bit of time. Chuck some in the pan and it's like a bloody festival of flavor. Now, what is it I can do for you? Can't say there's been any major upsets to report in these past few days or weeks.
supposed to talk to you about Orphanal?
Orphanary. I know that one. A young champion of the downtrodden. Ilmore's richer than all of Norbert put together, but it's a different story for them as live outside the city. Most spend their days, well, every waking moment, just trying to stay alive, which makes your friend's dedication to help others stand out all the more. I can hazard a guess to where he is now. Get a message to him. But you'll need somewhere safe and quiet to meet, away from the prying eyes. Make for Steeltide. That's a fishing village just off the path here. You're looking for a rundown excuse of a tavern the locals call the Leaky Keel. Wait there, and I'll see that Orphanal joins you.
Let's attune to the crystal.
I think you got. Are you?
I'm on your island, yes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
All right. Sounds like you're fighting. Sounds like someone's fighting.
Yeah, I'm running. But that's good.
Hey there, Warkeep. We have a wire for hire if you're interested. Actually, before I forget, let me add your name to the register. That way, you'll be able to come back anytime you like. I'll just wait here for a minute.
Is this your first time in a tavern? It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What will you be having?
Water's fine, thanks.
A fine choice. And what will you be paying with?
I have gil.
Oh, no, these are exotic. Where did you come by coins like that? I'm sorry, dear. I don't doubt they have value, but I don't have a touchstone to test their purity, and I'm not about to go begging for one of the neighbors, so we'll just have to come to some other arrangement.
What'd you like me to do? I got lots of abilities.
Here's an idea. There's a common to the north we grow our vegetables, but lately the pests have been eating more of them than we have. Now, what do you say a bit of extermination work? I'm good at that. I want you to squash any vermin you find.
Can't I just, kill them?
Then visit the caretaker and give them an earful for me for sleeping on the job. He'll be in the old silo next to the fence, snoring like as not. Do that for me, and you can laze about here as long as you like.
You just had to ask. I would have done that anyway. Didn't have to threaten. Like residential swarms. I have more somewhere else down here. Whoops. Definitely should do that. More enemies. Hey, punk. Alright. Supposed to yell at someone? In here. Knock knock. No response. Needed a lot knock louder. No response. Perhaps the occupant is hard of hearing. Maybe if I kick in the door. Hear faint squeaking from the room beyond. Time to burst in and save the day, brave adventurer. No one is home, and judging by the lack of furniture, haven't been for some time. The odd scraps of vegetables on the floor suggest rats have taken up residence in their absence. Fire-chan is on low. Yeah, there was nobody at that shack. Welcome back, my dear. What did that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? He wasn't there. Gone? Huh. Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. But what now? In Gate Town, outside Elmore? You don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? And I was thinking you're another dreamer. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat, wherever you like, dear. You more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink on the house. Hopefully I'll be joined by a friend soon. So the water's not free, I can tell.
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
Off you know.
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
And it's off you know.
'Tis good to see you, my friend. The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alfino, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu.
Yep. It's been a minute.
It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. But the time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
We thought we'd lost you. Like, permanently.
Huh. Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding.
She does like to scold, doesn't she?
But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before.
It's been a moment. You had a very unpleasant experience with Alice.
I see. Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry.
Got a lot of
We
fire,
must
got that
endeavor
right.
to return as soon as we... It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change.
Indeed.
But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity.
I don't know that we can.
Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true.
Arguably, it's already in the process. May have already come true.
By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire.
Black Rose.
Which can only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped. But so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means.
Boy, her eyes kind of look similar, don't they?
And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion.
How's that?
I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail.
Probably.
But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat.
I mean, we are, aren't we?
One being Sin Eaters, of course.
Right.
They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity.
They're pretty horrifying.
I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered.
Right.
That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure?
Let's get it on, or however you say it.
And so we take to the road once more.
So many quests. You are not wrong. I was ready to take the road once more. Assuming you have no objections, let us make our way directly to the city outskirts. If we time our arrival just right, we may be lucky enough to see why I have yet to set foot in Aylmore, despite my best efforts to do so. Come, from here we must head west, and then cross a small bridge. Alright. And suddenly the entire town explodes with quests. Oh, they're useless. You there. Have you seen a timid mouse of a man cowering in a corner somewhere? Not recently. I'm talking about my husband, clumsy, overcautious clod that he is. All I asked for him to do was bring me some shellfish back for dinner, and he's been gone for bloody hours. I hate to inflict my troubles on a stranger, but if you're headed down to the beach and spot a good-for-nothing husband, tell him to get a move on with the main course. Yeah, I'll get right on that. That should be enough to last us. At least until those scaly buggers are taken care of. Oh, what now? These days it seems there are more pests than people living in Stilltide, with all the hopefuls running about Yulmore. Those flying lizards are the worst of the lot, though. Another fire-type woman, right. Can't even leave for an honest day's work anymore without a swarm of them flapping sky demons nipping at your heels from here to Governor's Row. Don't get me started on a leader. Jaculus, they call him. The way that vicious blighter comes after you, you'd think he bloody owns the place. Now someone needs to topple that little tyrant. None of us fancy losing a finger, but maybe you're up to the challenge? If you're keen to draw him out, just skewer a couple of those broodmates. That'll get his attention, sure enough. Oh, that sigh wasn't for you, and just thinking about a friend. Damn fool got tired of the hard life, you see, and tried to sell to the mainland in our little fishing boat. Said he'd come back and fetch me after he'd found his fortune. body washed up on the beach yesterday. I wonder if his last thoughts were of his home, the shores of the land he never reached. And actually, sir, if you've not better to do than listen to me sob, I'd appreciate a hand collecting his belongings. They're scattered along the sands. If you don't know that I'll find them all before the waves steal them back out to sea. And to whip this tail back into shape. Annoyed? I think mine was funnier.
I mean, it's just like they could keep maybe person two words come out together.
Mm-hmm. Let me grab this man's crap. I think so. What you talking about? I don't think you're wrong. The Hobgoblin. Oh, Hobgoblin, sorry. Okay, grab the quota ring. Two. Put back this away. And the clouded necklace. Head back this way and get this other thing. More hobgoblins. There you are. Hey, hesitant husband. How you doing? Who are you? What do you want from me? Your lady friend's looking for you. I just wonder where I am. It's been that long. I tried to dig up one of those tide clams, and she likes a good-sized one, too, but a clam shot out of under the sand and almost clipped my arm off. Say, you seem a capable sort. Do you think you could lend me a hand? Looks like another chocobo. Oh, thank you. You should be able to find the spot I was digging from under the water. Just watch out for those snippers. Just like another chocobo, just more effective. Lol. Well, that's it. You're going down, punk. You're gonna wish I was never born, or something like that. Oversafe take clan. Oh my goodness. Loaded big clan. You're not a clan. Stop pretending to be a clan. Get him, Peter. Show him who's boss. Look, I'm just trying to get through my life here. Stop attacking me, you silly creatures. Hey, I got your crap. You're not missing a limb or anything, are you? Yeah, that climb was actually not very difficult. Also, I fought a crab. He was very difficult. Yeah, look at the size of this thing. My wife will be well pleased. She'll be mad that I had to ask you for help, but it'll be worth it when she sees the prize you claimed. In fact, I'm sure she'll want to thank you in person. Come on, let's head back to the village. Yeah, okay. Here, Whiptail. Uh-oh. Hi. In a fight? I'm not really looking for a fight, but I can give you one. Let's get this fighting. I just say so myself. Someone who seeks to avoid fights, I find myself in them a lot. Whiptail and defeat the enraged Jaculus. Did you find anything? I found a coral necklace and a corroded ring and a snapped fishing rod. Yeah, these are these things, all right. We made this rod ourselves, me and him. I lost count of the number of times we slipped away to go fishing instead of grubbing about in the fields. So should have known better than to try crossing those choppy waters in that tiny boat. I told him, wicked white, how many times have I told him? Then the divine swallowed him up and spat him out, the damned fool. I suppose I'd better bury these bits and pieces with him and then get back to work. Thank you for your kindness, stranger. Hey there, catty lady. She seems well named. You got the bitey little bastard, then? Shadows be praised. Now, maybe we can work the fields in peace. If you hadn't done the deed, I'm afraid I'd start running out of food. I have no wish to watch anyone starve to death. I know we could move to Gate Town and live on handouts of mule like the rest of them, but we have our pride. If there's any choice in the matter, we'd rather take our own needs while we can. Have a little help with battle-savvy travelers such as yourself, of course. I'm glad I could help. Thank you again, sir. I might be still floundering on the sands if it weren't for you. My apologies, strangers. It seems my husband caused you more trouble than I expected. It's not a problem, actually. Hey, you're a keen pain in the posterior, you are. Here, take this and drop it off in your leaky keel. Okay. I hear you slew some shelled monster which came up between him and that clam. Good thing, too. If he'd stood his ground, he'd be burying whatever parts of him was left. Thank you. This man has his faults. Strike me if I don't love him all the same. Now, I'd just be making something to fill his belly when he comes back. Nice thick clam stew, I reckon. What a great relationship. Doses 2. Flamach. Offensive magic mastery. I can attack things better. I will stay with Sage for a bit. You just find parsley and rosemary and thyme. looks like it's moving pretty quick. I bet that's a fishing place. Hey there, Alfino. Calusia seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar. A similar impression of the Crestarium. Even in this distant world, people are much the same. To think that whenever a calamity struck the source, a reflection such as this one, with all of its culture and history, was being erased from existence. No, get away from me. Over there. Quickly, someone's in trouble. Oh my goodness, that is quite the iguana. That is a large iguana. Well, thanks to fates. Look out! Unfortunately for you, I just recently upgraded my physical attacks. So, like, you're kind of doomed, buddy. And I mean Budley in the most insincere sense in the world, Mr. White Death. What's up, Manic Madam? Just another Manic Madam. My poor heart. Thank you, good sir. Ah, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings, but I can see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work. Are you all right, madam? Just a few bruises where I fell, and nothing compared to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were, and I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I let that stop me. I should probably leave my old house behind and queue up outside the Ulmore, like the rest of them. Doubt those fancy lords and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate is better to be safer than staying here. One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, lest you make the Syneger's task any easier. Thank you again. You saved my life. Now I'm sure a strapping lad like you has little to fear, but I won't linger long in this place. There's naught to be had here, but cobwebs and memories. Tis as the lady says. Many of these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Yulmore's shadow. Should the Synegers descend upon this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters? They're pretty horrible. From what I know, they kind of make people into zombies. Yes, Alessay would be well qualified to speak on the subject. Compared with Ernig, Costa is almost a haven. But as you saw, we cannot let our guard down. Had you arrived but a few moments later, the Synegers would have claimed yet another victim. Still, we have won a small victory this time at least. Now, shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west. Go to the forking path, got it. This island's a lot larger than I was first given the impression it was. Man, I got so much stuff to donate to Doma. Get down the whale's breach. It's the whale's breach.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Yulmore itself lies beyond.
All right.
This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
Took a while to get the city fully restored. I believe it, because I've been donating like everything I have to it, and it's barely scratched the surface. We've almost got the shop up and running, and like I can tell there's like 6 or 7 different zones.
I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh? I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
Sure. You got anyone needing healing?
He's not here to compete. Leave him be.
What? I was only making conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please!
I don't know what's going on over here. Recognize this music.
Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all. Yulmore extends its warmest regards. Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy. Even on days when fish is not on the menu! Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We might not at all.
Fish, is it?
Was there anyone?
What about that guy?
Twins were Final Fantasy IV, I think.
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon.
The light changed again.
Uh-huh. Alright, I'm going to...
A poor man could sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come! Join us in the City of Splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor. Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident! For you!
Ah, hello!
Enjoy!
Enjoy your meal.
Thank goodness.
Over here!
The Kentucky Mouse.
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gate Town, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well.
It's people.
Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity. Yet the whole arrangement just seems... well, Let us just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I don't like strange food here either. Let me tell you sometime about the time I ate soggy bread. Yes, going the wrong direction, that is basically the Final Fantasy XIV experience. Wait, where was I going? Now you understand why my attempts to enter the city have thus far come to naught. The dubious privilege of residency can be won via contest with ever-changing rules. They say this policy has been in place for the past 2 decades, ever since Yulmor's current ruler came into power. Yet, from what I've seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract people from our shared struggle against the Sin Eaters, it robs them of their self-sufficiency. I've tried to propose ways that we could improve their lot, but my words invariably fell on deaf ears. The attitude is so entrenched now, I worry that, well, perhaps you should take a turn around Gate Town and judge the situation for yourself. Oh my gosh, so many people to talk to. It's a little fun. Hey there, worried waif, what's up? Please, won't anyone help us? Game somehow works well with ADHD. Oh yes. People with ADHD do very well in video games and do very well in researching stuff on computers and a lot of other things that, you know, the label of disorder doesn't immediately lend itself to. What they don't do well in is school. That traditional setting is not very good for ADHD. But generally, yeah, self-exploration, they do wonderfully, usually. My brother, his belly hurts so much, he can't even move. I don't think the fresh water you bought was fresh at all. Could you talk to the potion maker for us, mister? I already tried, but when he started explaining the things he wanted for the medicine, I got scared and ran away. Nearly failed out of high school and academic probation several times in engineering school. Yep, that's usually how it goes. Also, people with ADHD generally do incredibly well in fields that involve creativity, because they can come up with new ideas very, very well, especially brainstorming. They don't do very well in finishing projects. So you want to have someone with ADHD coming up with the ideas and starting projects and have someone else finish. Welcome. What concoctions have you had today, mister? Yeah, I need some water. Apparently the last water you gave was bad. Oh, yes, I remember the young girl and her ailing brother. I used the last of my bark, you see, and all I wanted was for her to gather some of the tree in the cape. The way she ran off, you'd think I'd ask for a bowl of her blood or something. You're welcome to collect a few strips in her stead if you like, although I don't expect you'd want me to bother. Still here? Very well, then. Find some trees and use this knife to very carefully peel away 3 pieces of nice, dry bark. I won't hold my breath. My computer fell asleep if you're waking up. You're calling me out right now? I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. Almost 100% positive Leonardo da Vinci had ADHD. And, I mean, some of the most brilliant things ever. One of the other great artists. Oh, what's his name? Starry Night guy. Van Gogh. Van Gogh was probably ADHD. It's just one of those things, you know. It's like these are brilliant people. Just the way society expects to behave, it doesn't work out. And it's the problem with the expectation, not with the people. But of course, don't tell people that. Still here, are you? Can't blame me for wanting a slice of Yelmore's pie. If you ask me, you should ditch that sour-faced brat and make a home for yourself here. Gate Town's not much to look at, but it's at least safe. And the meal's the best thing I've ever tasted. No one near as amazing as they are. Well, of course, whenever you compare yourself with people, you know, and you have the whole of their lives to look at, and you're just looking at, you know, the little sliver you've had so far, of course it's not going to match up. But yeah, there are lots of things I struggle with, but I feel like there are things I can do easier than people do. Yeah, try not to feel down about it. Exactly. There are strengths to it. And when you label something a disorder, you're ignoring the strengths. Now, the reason it's called a disorder is because it interferes with normal society. Therefore, it's called a disorder. You can't operate with the normal rules. But yeah, these are people that have great strengths, and we just generally don't let them do their great strengths, and that's the problem. Giant bark. Let me peel some bark. I am the great slayer of Nidhogg, peeling bark. That's what I do. Like something like Wikipedia, for instance, is a great use for people with ADHD, is maintaining this grand repository of all of human knowledge, you know? Because folks will do that, and they'll do an amazing job at it. And the best thing about Wikipedia is it's never finished, so you don't need to worry about finishing it. You are a large, scary thing, aren't you? Oh, I see you finally came to your senses. Well, let's have that knife back then. Okay, here's a knife and some bark. What's this? You really went to harvest the bark? What could you possibly hope to gain? Kindness will get you nowhere in this rotten town. Oh. What a rare soul you must be. I suppose I've no choice now but to mix the cure I promised. I mix some herbs and powders together, the bark you sought, and a few pellets a day should settle the aches in the lad's stomach. Never mind the payment, after all, it's you who did most of the legwork. You know, I'd hope to trade my healing skills for a life in Yulmore, but my place is here, amongst the poor and the desperate, to help for the sake of helping, to be needed. Hi, that's not a bad feeling. I'm glad I could provide you some purpose. That's all most of us want. Did you go and see the potion maker? Here's some pellets for you. For my brother? Oh, thank you, mister. You saved his life. You'll be wanting coin, right? I'm not sure that we... No, don't worry about it. What do you mean, nothing? Here, you must take these at least. I collected them myself. Thank you again. Rings! Okay. I'll take the rings. Thank you. Switch to Bard. And we'll get the rings going. So many chests, so little time. Sort. There we go. Aspiring songstress. You know, I'm learning to sing. What do we have here? An admirer come to exalt the purity of my vocal splendor? Sure, why not? No, well... Okay, you should feel honored to meet me if I'm ever allowed to test the limits of my instrument. One day I shall be the talk of Yulmore, nay, of all Norvrot. But first I must secure a venue in which to practice. If I sing it but a fraction of my full volume, the cretins around here become so unreasonably angry, insulting even. Thus I've taken to finding a quiet spot near the coast. Yet even there my scales and trills seem to drive the wildlife into a frenzy. I can scarce begin my practice before I'm forced to flee from some enraged beast. You look and seem a fair bit of fighting. What say you standing guard and allowing me my fair share of singing? Pretty, please? Pretty, please? The pretty flowers? Cool. Give me some of your crap. Bubbling cookpot. A large pot bubbles over the flame. Pale chunks, meal, you realize, float in the otherwise plain broth. Nice variety of colors here. Cool. I look forward to getting there eventually. Indeed. Ah, what I wouldn't give for just one mouthful of juicy meat. Eaten not but meal for more moons than I can count. I mean, I'm grateful for the handouts and all, but sometimes a man needs variety. If you had me a roasted game bird right now, I'd strip that beauty down to the bone. Have you ever tried catching one in trogopans? It's like asking to have your eyes pecked out. Wait, you reckon you could do any better? Go ahead, then. Make me eat my own words, just as long as they come with a side dish of bird flesh. And make sure you bring back alive and kicking, you understand? There's a rope to truss it up and a sack to carry it. You might need to, daze it a bit first.
My poor sensitive nose. Do you not smell that awful stench? What we require here is a strategically placed sachet of ground Kazoolia sage. The trouble is, I'm not quite willing to die in the process of obtaining said herb. What of you, sir? There's a sage aplenty near the clave. Should be a promise of reward overshadow any fear that you have of stabbing tooth and rending claw. 2 generous bunches should suffice.
I'll get around to that. Op. Where is it? Victory! That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, Gate Town. Interesting town. What's up, lady? Just look at it. Could you imagine a more beautiful city? Oh yeah, lots more beautiful places than this. Every day I dream of the life that awaits me inside those walls. Oh, will they ever pick me? Well, I've seen Gate Town. I've definitely seen better looking places. And this is quite the shanty town they've got here. The story is sad. Yep. Really good stories often are. You've seen what K-Town has to offer. These people can no longer fend for themselves. They become dependent upon handouts of meal, and believe Yulmore is the answer to all of their woes. Yet no matter how I frame my encouragement, they seem unwilling, nay, unable, to conceive of any other way of life. You disapprove of Yulmore. It is difficult to make a final judgment without first seeing the city's inner workings. Map set uncertainty. It always makes me feel so ill at ease here. Not that it matters. How the unjust system seems to me, if these people seem to be content with their lot, it's hardly my place to criticize their choices. Take that elderly lady you rescued. Does it not seem that those who have chosen to forgo Yulmore's Largas are doomed to suffer for their independence? In the end, they're all forced to seek refuge in Gate Town, and so hamlets and fields across the island are left empty and untended. hastening this region's descent into ruin. Nay, I'm not convinced that Yormor's generosity truly serves the best interests of the Colossea's people. I'm not yet so naive as to think there's some miraculous solution to all this. Yet I cannot help but frown at the sight of hard-working villagers struggling to survive, even as the chosen few rejoice at being plucked from poverty by the hand of the capricious noble. There has to be a better way. I will know, well, I will not know for sure, however, until I've taken those long-delayed steps through Yormor's gates. 'Tis fortunate that you arrived when you did, Pietro. I've been working on a scheme to insulate myself into the city, and if all goes to plan, it should soon come to fruition. There's a beast tribe that makes home in the seas surrounding the island. The Ondo, they're called, though you and I know them as Sahagin. For the most part, they keep to themselves in their ocean grottos, rarely have dealings with land dwellers. But as the Taro took great pains to impress upon me during our stay in Kagane, business favors the bold, and so I've reached out to them. I duly discovered that the Ondo are inordinately fond of land-grown produce, fresh fruit to be particular, and when I offered to procure such goods for them, they promised to pay me in pearls. An attractive business venture for any prospective investor, would you not agree? Surely even the most jaded Yormorian lord would have time for a merchant who can make pearls from plums and pumpkins? Yes, I've come a long way since my days of buying samurai swords without first negotiating a price. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. My appointment with the Ondo is due to take place in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet with them at the shore. Might you help me make the exchange? Sure, I'll help how I can. Forgot he did that. Oh, yes. Yes, he did. Excellent. I should be glad of your company. First things first, then. We must pay a visit to Moshimoa, my supplier. That's hilarious. Yes, it is. My supplier and right.
Tachiru's response to it.
Yeah, her response was pretty hilarious. The fact that he bought a samurai sword without checking the price is especially hilarious, because those can be insanely priced. Yeah, like the price of an apartment complex. And it's just like, what? My supplier and right. First, come. It's just to the northwest of here. Just accepted. Oh, okay. Try to get this taken care of while I'm nearby. Sorry, that was the Offenel voice. I'm being Pietro. I should use the Pietro voice. That's one. I'm supposed to be capturing these birds, not murdering them.
Yeah.
I'm very good at murdering creatures I'm supposed to be capturing. I guess the moral of this story is never ask me to find your lost cat. Well, I thought you wanted me to kill it. Well, thank you. You don't have to, but I appreciate it all the same. One hour left on the stream. But I should ask Peter to help find the neighbor's yappy dog. Yep. Well, I finally killed that dog for you. You what the dog? But that's what you wanted, right? Uh-oh. To Peter. Tell me there's a bird in that sack. Yeah, I killed 6 of them before I realized. Oh, that's a feisty one. Nice work, stranger. Seeing this fellow I'll trussed up for dinner table reminds me of being back in Stilltide. It's been years since I left to chase after Yilmore's promises, but I'm no closer to getting through that gate than when I first started. Maybe it's time I give up the hollow dreams and went home to my mum. Anyway, thanks for the bird, my friend. You're most welcome. I also am like, what's the word I'm looking for? I have a pretty intense focus on completing quests. I gather as many as I can at a time, and then do as many of them as I can. Oh, not yet, you will. Don't worry, you will get a lot done whenever I stop streaming here in an hour. Or you will have a nap. That's another possibility. Maybe you'll do some whenever I'm sleeping. Another possibility. Do Clave. Is this another beast tribe? Okay. Have fun. And grab some sage. It's probably the best job to be collecting sage. Oh, it's so invigorating to sing here. It feels like my voice rings clear across the sea. Oh, you're being attacked by a bird. Yeah, thanks, I noticed. It feels as if my voice rings clear across the sea. Now, if you'd be so kind as to intercept any nuisances before they ruin my practice, I'd be most appreciative. Here, birdies, birdies, birdies. I'm a very efficient bird murderer. Even when I'm not supposed to be murdering the birds. I do a great job of it. Oh my, you are a good fella. A little deranged, but nobody's perfect. Sputtering songstress.
Ah, that was simply wonderful. You don't know how long it's been since I was last able to sing to my heart's content. And it's all thanks to you. Let us return to town that I may show you the proper gratitude.
Better shower goods so you don't stink, Callie. The rich people don't like that. It's true. Rich people, they always complain about stinking urchins. But it's never about the stinky cheese the rich people eat. You know? There's plenty of people that stink that are rich. Lots of stink all around, actually.
I'll go grab these two things, and then we'll head to that crystal. Assuming we don't get more missions, because I kind of feel like we'll have some more missions that'll show up as soon as I turn these in.
Well, when you're able to fly, it should be real easy. Mm-hmm. The jumping puzzle. For people who hate themselves.
Thank you ever so much for your help. I also wish I could keep you on as an assistant. I know it seems to be a struggle through the rough patch at the moment, but once I make a name for myself in your most cabaret show, the privilege will be climbing all over each other to offer me patronage. And then, when I'm wealthy and famous, you shall have a reward you deserve. For now, however, this is all I can afford. Consider it an advance payment.
Hey, you know what? You're getting quite a lot of what you owe. That's good enough for me. Eureka. Sprint. How fare your harvesting efforts?
Thank you.
They're working.
Yes.
Oh yes, this is a goodly amount. My thanks. A moment while I prepare an experimental sachet.
I'll just try.
No worries.
I just grind these up and add a sprinkle of this and a dash of that, and 'tis done. Oh, 'tis akin to inhaling a springtime breeze. I must begin producing these fair-scented pouches in bulk. Oh, you, sir, have the privilege of putting my aromatic creation to the test. Place one of my sachets behind this foul-smelling shack and inform me of the results.
Right here. The rank fumes permeating the air are slowly replaced by a pleasant, refreshing scent. Hey! I have gotten a lot of practice doing that in my class, too.
Nice had to prove the victor in the contest of fragrances.
Yeah, it no longer smells like death. Good job.
Well, that is satisfying to hear. I shall continue manufacturing these pockets of sage and proceed with secreting them around the palace. The thing of it is, the folk of Gaytown often party the refuse discarded by the free citizens of Yulmore. Such salvaged items have, however, spent no short span of time mouldering among actual garbage. Thus, the offensive odor I've been forced to endure, but no longer. Thanks to you, my olfactory senses will be spared. Pray, accept this token for your trouble. Got it.
Put on my food. Cheers to you, waifu. Thanks. I could have just driven you up there in my car. Rachel does have a car. You've got a car.
Yeah.
Your car doesn't fly just yet here.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But you do have access to someone if you get stuck. Oh, wait, no mounts here. Oh.
Is there no Aether current?
Well, feces.
Yeah, that's okay. That platforming puzzle was much easier sprinting. The ones in Higashi are still a nightmare.
Kind of obscene. Never say never. But yeah, pretty obscene. And I've attuned to the crystal. Mender? Mender? You're not a mender, you're May. Mender! Oh. JK, LOL. Moshimoa. So she's answering the phone. Is this something I could do for you, friend? Good day to you, Moshimoa. This is my associate, Pietro. We are here to collect the produce I purchased. Need a mentor? Mender? You know, I've got one already. I appreciate it. I didn't actually need one. I was just looking for one. I always do when I'm in a new place. Eh? I looted your lackey with the goods not long ago. My lackey? I know of no such person. Mr. Lad, short blue hair. No. He said he'd come on your behalf. And since he seemed to know all the details, I just assumed. Confound it. Someone must have been eavesdropping on our conversation. If this charlatan was here not long ago, he cannot have gone far. We should split up and search the area. You find a vantage point to the south side of town, and I shall take the west. This run is for a male mistle with short blue hair. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target a likely suspect and inspect him. You've located a quarry. That didn't take long. A bit, yes. That is a good reference. Yes, this is very reminiscent of the area below the plate. Pieta, any sign of him? Yeah, there's a guy right over there. You have a keen eye. Let us move in before he makes good his escape.
And the design of this city is so
The gold saucer. Got it. Okay. I got it before the bird hit me.
There you are. The thief who claims the harvest on my behalf. Hand it over.
Well, forgive me. I have to get into the city. I have no family and all my friends have already been chosen. No one here gives a damn about me. When the meal gets handed out, I'm lucky if I get a smell of it. No matter what I do, they won't call out my name. I'm so tired, I'm so bloody hungry. I thought maybe I could steal your idea, get in that way.
What is your name?
Kai Shear.
Tell me then, Kai Shear, must it be Yulmore or nothing? What of the Crystarium? They may not offer charity, but you would be fairly compensated for any work you did.
No, it has to be Yulmore. That's where all my friends are. We made a promise that we'd live together in paradise.
It's not going to be paradise, bro.
I was to make my deal with the Ondo at the Clave. Listen carefully, and I shall tell you my plans for the business, and how best to arouse the Yulmorans' interest.
You'll give me your place? Just like that?
I'm giving you a chance, nothing more. What comes of it is entirely up to you.
Indeed.
I understand. Oh, thank you, thank you!
This was but one path. There will be others.
That's right.
But for young Kai Shear, it was the difference between life and death.
He didn't necessarily give him life.
I do not regret my decision. Yet I will admit that a part of me wonders if it was for the best.
Probably not. But...
we strive to bring swift salvation to this world. That countless lives might be saved, not least your own. Even if it came at the cost of one man, should I have forged on regardless?
No, absolutely not. Do not use people as things. I'm still learning too, he's just a kid. That is not who you are. Using people as things is not you.
I suppose not. Were Estinian here, he would most likely scoff at my soft-heartedness.
Same old Alfino, ever the slave to sentiment.
But I thank you for your kind words nonetheless. Let us see to it that both these stories have a happy ending. Shall we return to Wright then?
That Kantian morality led directly to World War I, and how horrible that World War I was.
Is that?
But still my preference. There's a body on the beach.
I can't be sure, but I think someone's in trouble.
Well, let's go save them then.
Come on. They may need our help.
Let's do it. Let's go. I hear a lot of giggling over there. And I'll murder him when he tries to peep. Oh, Aether Currents, gotta grab it. I must catch them all. Alright. How are we doing on Aether Currents? Oh, man, we've barely done anything. How you doing, you weak and rich? Sorry, it's the name. That should take care of most of his injuries.
Mercy, I beg you.
Breathe easy, sir. No harm will come to you here. Poor man is shivering. Pray keep an eye on him while I get a fire going. Alright.
I thought for certain I was dead. How am I ever to repay this kindness?
We'll settle for the tale behind your current predicament. Why don't you begin by telling us your name?
Oh, apply the sweet smelling name.
Tristan. I was invited into Yulmore to work as an artist. A wealthy couple took me in to paint pictures for them, but when my style proved contrary to their taste, they just as quickly turfed me out into the street. I was left penniless and patronless, a grave sin in Lord Balthury's city. Within days they had brought me before the man himself, and he asked me what I was meant to do. Dejected as I was, I told him I wished to leave. Little did I know how soon he would grant me my wish. They flung me over the balustrade into the goddamn ocean. From up there? How are you not dashed to pieces? Don't ask me. Luck, I suppose. Though, if you hadn't found me when you did, I wouldn't have counted for much. Monstrous. And the citizen condones its barbaric punishment. Oh, without a second thought. When Lord Balthury passes judgment, no one so much as blinks, let alone argues. Yulmar, his word's law. The more I hear about Yulmore, the more determined I am to see what waits within its walls. Now you smell quite lovely. I shall bend all my thoughts towards securing another way into the city. There must be something we can do. But first, we should convey Tristal to the shelter of the village. Fire or no fire, he needs to be out of this chilly coastal air. I'm trying to get this off, you know. A way into the city.
Poke his big brush Estidian button. Works like a charm. Wow.
Accept my deepest gratitude. I owe both of you my life. And if you'll permit me, I will assist you in your attempt to enter Yulmore, insofar as I'm able, at any rate. To be frank, the thought of sending my saviors into that awful place makes me sick to the stomach, but since it's plain you've set your minds on it, you should take this. What is this? It's my favorite paintbrush. Yulmore elites are never satisfied until they get exactly what they want, and if I'm not mistaken, the couple I mentioned will be looking for someone to replace me. If you make a show of owning such a well-used brush, you may be able to convince people you have a talent for painting. As I recall, Offino is a fantastic sketch artist. Are you certain? This is your livelihood. We cannot deprive you of such a treasured possession. I'll gladly give it up, after all you've done for me. Besides, I don't think I have the heart to paint anymore. As to what I'll do instead, I honestly haven't decided. But I shan't stay long in this place, not with that city brooding over me. Nay, I'll move on to new lands and new profession. And I'll keep you in my prayers from now until my dying day. And suddenly the entire city pops, and there's tons of quests. Alphinaud weighs the brush you received from Tristal, deep in thought. They say kindness is its own reward, but Tristal's repaid us with a gift as timely as was unexpected. We will, however, need to act upon his advice before another painter steps in to fill the vacancy. Thankfully, I do have some modest skill with the brush. Nothing approaching that of a true artist, of course, but enough to play the role, I would hope. As for you, well, if you don't mind taking a subordinate role, perhaps you could pose as my assistant. I'm an excellent assistant. Then it is settled. All we need to do now is return to Gate Town and await the next appearance of those vile jesters. But first, we have lots of missions to do. Hey there, Hastewart. I'm sorry, sir. Please tell me you're a warrior of some kind. You see, there's a gang of bandits who've moved into the area. They used to be residents of Yulemore, but they're exiled for stealing from free citizens. Now they've taken to stealing from us instead, and anyone who tries to stand up for them gets a good beating for their trouble. Folks say they're former soldiers, and seeing as how the bastards fight, I'm inclined to believe them. We're just farmers here. We need someone who can stand up to them, someone who knows their way around a weapon. Could you be that person for us? Sure, I'll do that for you. You'll teach them a lesson then. Thank you. We've already hatched a plan to track them down in their camp, poked a hole through a harvest sack and left it as bait. There's a trail of grain now, stretching away from the village to the east, so you might want to start your search there. I got so many things to do right now. Oh, who are you? Forgive me. Not often we see travelers in the Wraith, with how dangerous it is hereabouts. I even worry for my husband taking the road down to the shipyard. He's as strong as a Talos. He has been gone a good while, though. If you're headed this way, could you please let him know his wife is expecting him at home? Excuse me, but you're the gentleman Alphinaud was traveling with, aren't you? I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch your name. Oh, I'm Pietro. Oh, Pieter, how lovely to meet you. My name is Euless, and I'm the acting village mayor. I was hoping someone of your talents would pass through right before long. The thing is, I need someone to visit up at Stonegazer, and I'm afraid to walk the path alone. Do you think you could provide an escort? Hey. My thanks. I just couldn't bring myself to ask one of the villagers. You see, there was an incident a while back where a veteran band of hunters was badly mauled. Simply mentioning that it is unsafe to wander outside the village these days would be enough to bring back memories of that grisly scene, which is why it's been so difficult to even bring up the subject. But such as not change the fact that the roads are indeed dangerous. Pray meet me on the path to the north and be prepared to fend off the wildlife. Excuse me, sir. You seem the well-traveled sort. Would you be willing to accompany me in the Clave in return for a reward? There's a bit of a problem, see. We take turns manning the watchtowers hereabouts, but the last few folk have been driving away from the lighthouse, post by sudden and terrible headaches. Every single one of them remembers hearing some sort of screeching wail. We don't know if we're dealing with a sea witch or a roaming banshee, but they all agree the sound is awful enough to chill your blood. How fortunate for me, then. I have you to back me up. Pray, follow me to the Clave, and we can solve this mystery together. Two more, and I can actually start doing some of these missions. Excuse me, sir, that you are a fellow visitor here, yes? I wonder if you would be willing to perform for me a trifling service. I serve a particular family of the Elmorian elite, and it is at the behest of my patron, a man with a discerning taste for fine drink, that I have ventured to this famous brewery of Wright. I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, do not betake yourself. Otherwise, you would surely be aware of Wright's incomparable ale, and its glowing reputation amongst the privileged of Yulemore. In recent years, however, it seems distribution of this golden liquid has ground to a halt, and thus have I been sent to make a purchase directly from the source. A simple task, you might think, except the people of Wright are not overly receptive to visitors from Mulmore. Downright dismissive, in fact. Do you understand my dilemma? I need you to speak to the villagers and procure a supply of ale in my stead, a service which you'll be paid most handsomely. Sure, let me get this other thing started first. 30 minutes left in the stream. There's the dude.
Do you want to hear a ghost story? Of course you do.
Not a special.
A big old pig farm over yonder once belonged to a family known as the Greeleys. It was around 10 winters ago, now that the entire sty was butchered by a pack of wild animals. The farm never recovered, and the family scattered to the winds. The Greeley's daughter and her betrothed sought refuge here in Wright, but misfortune's grasp would not surrender them so easily. The lad was slain by their coast last year, and the eater attacked our village. And the lass, mad with grief, threw herself from the bridge that bears her family name, drowned right there in the river. Ever since, folk have avoided that spot, convinced that Greeley Bridge is haunted by the girl's angry spirits. Oh, you think the tale a tall one? Go to the bridge yourself, then. Call out her name. Ismella.
Maybe eventually. But first, I have other missions. Well-built woodworker. Something I can do for you, stranger?
Not really.
Thought about doing the in-game wedding ceremony. We have not. We could, but haven't really considered it, no.
But we'd have to consider which of your characters
Right.
my main would do it.
Yeah. Well, we would do it with Peter if we did it at all.
Okay.
Because I would want it for the stream.
Right.
Oh, beat me with a hammer. Has it been that long? I was aiming to salvage the planks from this old hull, but she's given me more trouble than I'd bargained for. Bit of a waste to leave with all this lumber lying around. Not much call for seaworthy ships, since the light ate up half the world, you understand. So I reckon it was better for a woodworker like me to just put it to good use. These boards, though, they're so tightly joined. Can't pull the bleeding things loose. Here, do me a favor and sprinkle some of this powder in the joints along the keel. I'll be working on this end, and with any luck I can make it home before the wife stomps down here to fetch me herself. Okay. Sprinkle powder? I can definitely do that. Oh, goodness. Pinch of that powder in each of the keel joints, if you please. Yeah, actually, it'll be really easy, except that the game doesn't want me to do it. Would you please just do what I've asked? The fact I have to do it twice. Okay, got that taken care of. I did what you asked. That should do the trick. Fine powdered fire crystal is the best thing for melting wood glue. Just pour in a little water in the steam and take care of the rest. This ought to be a one-man job now, thanks to you. Oh, and if you could let Thenos know that I'll be done within an hour. You'll have helped me out in 2 rough spots today. Cool. Glad I could help. He worries then. He's all right then? Well, that's a relief. Bryce had his share of troubles, but a wife does worry. It's all good. Well, he had you helping strip planks? The cheek of that man. Still, we're lucky his father taught him the trade at all, even if he uses those skills to take ships apart instead of building them. A woodworker puts food on the table, so I'm grateful for his family for keeping up their traditions. And I'm grateful to you for bringing me peace of mind. Please, take this for your kindness. Thank you for the ethereal help. Maybe it's behind here? There it is. Venerable villager.
Huh? You wanted to buy some right ale? Well, now, we was famous indeed for ale once, but that age is long past. Any barley we grow these days is bound for the oven or the cooking pot. It's not to be spared for brewing beers and the like. You'll put that young back to work bringing in the harvest, though. I might be convinced to part with a bottle of my private stock.
Looking to procure yourself one tomorrow? Then I reckon you come to the right place. Just first time at our mall stop, that's it. Don't worry not, my friend. I'll see your name is added to the books. You can return here whenever you wish. Look out, Euless. Thanks for leaving there, bird. Really good timing. What did I tell you? I'm barely 10 steps out of the village. Come, let us hurry along to more predators have a chance to gather. Nebbiets. I'm doing something. Hold on. Stock of golden barley. Am I just picking it? Oh, I'm harvesting. Okay, I can do that. I harvested your grain for you.
You brought me the barley, then?
Yep, here you go.
Thank you, lad. There's fewer hands around to help out ever since the... It's a good drop, all right, ale is. It slides down the throat like honeyed sunshine, so they say, and before you know it, you've downed the whole damned bottle. Drink it slow and easy, lad, and you'll be waking up with a sore head come tomorrow.
I'm actually going to give it to a rich person. I hope they'll give me money in exchange. Were you successful in your bargaining? Here's your ale. I see, that would explain why the trickle of ale into Yulmore has ceased altogether. I shall report the situation to my patron, and see what can be provided in the form of labourers and surplus comestibles. In any case, I thank you for securing this precious bottle. Kind traveller, your payment, as promised. Cool. Let's see here. Go back to Bard. And another wing. north to deal with this stuff. I'm still sighing over that Alice mission. It hit me that hard. Thank you for the escort, Peter. This is the gentleman I wish to speak with, so we needn't go any further. Luke. Are you wondering about by yourself out here? You know what kind of creatures lurk beyond the borders of the village.
Ah, well, if it isn't Clotif's little girl, Clifton's little girl, it's something I can do for you, lass.
Yes, sir. I came for an answer to my proposal the other day. Have you given any thought in taking over as the village mayor? I'm doing the best I can in the interim, but I have neither the age nor the wisdom to continue in the role, and the rest of the villagers agree with me.
I'm fairly sure I told you nay once already. But seeing as if you found a guard just so you can come talk to me, then mayhap I will consider the idea in exchange for a few small tasks.
You will? Please, just tell me what I need to do.
My friend Clifton, your dear father, was looking for a sickle to cut some rope. Would you mind skipping back to the village and borrowing one for me?
Why would you... I mean, a sickle, was it? For cutting rope. That shouldn't be too difficult. I had only meant to ask you along for one trip, but if I'm going to complete these tasks, would you be willing to indulge me a little while longer?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Good day to you, young Euless. You look a little flustered, dear. Is there something I could help you with? And good day to you, madam. I was actually hoping to borrow a sickle. Is that all? Here, you can take this one. I've had several spares. There's no rush in returning it. Doing a spot of harvesting, are you? My thanks. It's not for me, exactly. I was asked to bring one for my father. Your father? Oh, shadows, save me. Forgive me, if you're to accompany me in these tasks, you deserve to know the whole story. It was my father, Clifton, who was the former mayor of Wright, and the incident I spoke of earlier was something that happened a year ago. One day, a stray sin-eater came prowling around and slaughtered nearly half the village. It was a waking nightmare. Some of the villagers blamed my father. They said it was because he refused to accept the protection of Yulmore. The sheer scale of the tragedy and the accusations that followed wore away at his conscience, until finally he could bear the gift no longer. The guilt, I mean. He hanged himself. Luke, the old man you spoke to, was the closest friend, but considering how he worded his request, it seems he's reluctant to accept the fact that my father's dead. Still, I would see this task to its end. Let me bring him his sickle, shall we? Okay. This isn't going to end well at all, is it? Sir Luke, we brought the sickle you asked for. I see, Sir Luke. Oh no, you're not leaving. No, you done screwed up, homie. Peter does vengeance. The thing is, if you're gonna attack me, you're gonna attack someone else, and so I've got to remove the threat. Say, Luke, sir, we brought the sickle you asked for.
Oh, good, good. Old Clifton will be glad to see this.
Sir. Thank you for staying with me, Peter. This might be harder than I expected. I'm grateful to have you with me, Peter. Thank you again. Say, Luke, sir, I believe you had more tasks for me.
Still here, are you? Yes, yes. Tasks. There's a Talos of mine that's taking far too long to make its return. Probably busy tussling with some dim-witted predator. Go and see how it fares, and chase off anything slowing it down.
But all the... Oh, you mean that Talos? Pray follow my lead, Peter. We'll find the Talos in question to the southwest of here, and I've no doubt that there'll be dim-witted predators aplenty for you to deal with. All right. Yeah, creatures that are insistent upon battle, Pietro will take care of them. Because again, if they're going to attack me, they're going to attack anyone. I can defeat them, I just can't. That's squat squirrel. Shouldn't be squatting here. Goodness, you are adorably small, aren't you? Oh, I'm glad you were here. They must have burrowed in beneath the plates. I know Luke implied the Talos was still moving, but as you can see, once upon a time, there'd be a line of these contraptions hauling minerals down to the shipyard, step by ponderous step, which incidentally is how the Slow Road supposedly earned its name. But after Daedalus Stoneworks closed down some 15 summers ago, there's no one left to make or maintain their creations. One by one, the Talos slowly fell into disrepair. This particular worker was damaged during his stray raider-eater rampage, and it hasn't shifted in Ilm ever since. It was always Luke's favorite. Come, let us make our report. Yeah, it was actually a very surprising turn of events that Peter picked up Sage. I considered not doing it, and I was like, you know what? It's healing. Peter would do it because he has an aversion to tech, and this is a very technical healing style. Don't even do like alchemy for the same reason. Say, Luke, sir. Pieter has cleared away the pests who were bothering your Talos. It should be left alone for the time being.
Ah, excellent news. But I expect he'll need a good polishing when he returns. The most troublesome ones are often the most endearing, eh?
Oh, sir.
You've done a fine service. Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you, Pieter. I never could have fought such creatures myself. If I might impose upon you for the next task as well.
Sure.
Thank you again for staying. Honestly, I could not have done this without you. Siluk, sir, were there any more tasks you had for us?
Oh, just one last thing. I want you to gather some pretty flowers from the Smith Hole. It's a gift for my darling wife. She went out for her usual walk and has not yet deigned to come home. I fear I may have said something to sour her mood.
I understand. We shall gather a lovely bouquet for her then. Well, Pieter, will you accompany me to the Cape for flower picking?
Sure.
Oh man, we got less than 10 minutes left. Oh well. Fabulous. It's most pleasant, isn't it? Oh, you have a bird attacking you. Yeah, thanks, I know this. This is most unpleasant, isn't it? This is most pleasant, isn't it? Aside from the aggressive wildlife, of course. Yes, indeed. I should tell you about Siluk's wife. She was killed in an earlier incident, though I imagine you already suspected as much. They made such a sweet couple. Every day they would walk out this cape hand in hand, and she would gaze out over the flowers with this warm, contented smile. Siluk himself had some training as a warrior. He would guard her as if she was a princess, and he her gallant knight. I'm sorry, it's just... So is Siluk fit to serve as mayor? There are none who care for right of his people more than he. The villagers and I are certain that Siluk will rise to the occasion. He just needs a little bit more time. It's been but a year. We're still suffering, all of us. Some seek to bury the misery beneath cheery faces, and others have yet trapped in the memories of the past. Siluk, I fear, is one of the latter. But if a bouquet of flowers is what it takes to help him work through his sadness, then I'll pick every bloom from this cape. Will you give me a hand to find some of the prettier flowers, for I think of it as a tribute to the deceased. Beautiful flowers. Be a rough expansion for Pieter. I imagine it will. He's gonna have some issues. There will be trauma. Believe it. Damn it. Sorry. It's like, why is he not gathering? I need to move. And then right as I move, he's like, gather? It's like, oh, gosh. Friggin' delayed reaction. Well, I got some flowers. Let's see what we have. Yes, these are beautiful. Thank you. Siluk will be pleased. Let's take them back to Stonegazer before they get crushed in some scuffle. Hurry back before some other birds attack me? You don't have to tell me twice. I love the floppy armed gobble. It's so funny. I don't know why I like it as much as I do, but holy cow, I do. Wobble, 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 wobble. Friend loves gabus. I have no idea why. They're so weird looking, but it's endearing. It's a cute kind of ugly. I don't know what it is. We both seem to have the gabu bug. They're adorable in a weird way. And again, they're ugly as crap. I don't know why I like them. I legit don't know why I like them, but I do. We made it. And the flowers are none the worse for the wear. You see their teeth? Yep. Yep. It's kind of like the little creature in the Dark Crystal, where it's just like a little fuzz ball and it's all teeth. Yeah, kind of like that. Siluk, Pietro and I have returned with a bouquet for your wife.
Ah, splendid. Thank you. Now, perhaps she will come. She will come back to...
Sir?
Please forgive me. I've asked such cruel things of you. And I must apologize to you too as well, Pietro.
Oh, whatever you need for help.
My beloved wife. My dear neighbors. So many gone. After it happened, despair became my only company. I could not even save my closest friend when his torment was plain for all to see. I could never forgive myself. And so I embraced this delusion, thinking, maybe, if I tried hard enough, if I truly believed that they were still alive, that the events of that day would fade away, like the nightmare that it was, but in succeeding only in hurting those around me.
I understand why you did, sir. Truly, I do.
You always were such a sweet child. I will place the flowers you brought on her grave. She would have loved them. As for me assuming the role of mayor, I am sorry. I cannot give you a decision just yet.
Take as long as you need. In fact, I might need a little time to recover myself. Pietro, if you could give me a moment or two. Of course. Well, that's long enough. Thank you for your patience, Piotr. Siluk still appears to be wrestling with his thoughts, but perhaps we could help him come to a decision. Sir, I don't mean to press you, but might you have arrived at an answer to my proposal?
Not exactly, no. There's another matter I've yet to reconcile.
Would you mind sharing this matter with us?
Well, it goes back to the day that the Eater attacked the village. I was taking my turn as lookout here in Stonegazer.
It's a duty we take very seriously. They say the tower was originally built in the time before the flood. They were worried about dwarves and mountain bandits, but these days...
Yes, there's far worse prowling about, and I failed to spot it. The Sin Eater which came that day did not appear as the other monstrosities I've seen. From a distance, it simply looked like a person. I wanted to be sure before I rang the warning bell, but I waited too long. Many who could have fled died because of my hesitation. Or maybe they turned into singers too. Who knows? My brain is gone. How could a man of such faulty judgment ever serve as mayor? What comfort can I offer those whose loved ones were needlessly slain? None. Not whilst the abomination itself yet roams free to kill again. I mean, I could kill it for you. You would take vengeance on our behalf. That is good, for we are powerless before its might. Should the Ether show its cursed face again, then I pray you are as strong as you appear.
I know nothing of the roads you have walked or the battles you have fought. So I can but echo what Luke just said. Our prayers will be for your victory. Well, sir, you've heard Pieter's words. Talk of vengeance aside, I do not believe the villagers, either living or dead, will hold you responsible for the actions of that monster. And I cannot fault you for wanting to remain distant. Pray forgive me for pestering you so, but...
Nay, 'tis I who should beg forgiveness. Though you've lost as much as anyone, I left you to shoulder the burden of leadership, alone.
All will be well with you back amongst us again. Come, let us return to the village. As I said, it's unsafe to linger out here so long. Pieter, one last escort back to Wright, if you would. All right, we'll do one last escort, and then we'll go ahead and stop for the day. It's about time for me to get my immunotherapy. Yay, needles. My thanks for your protection, Pieter, not to mention your unfailing patience. It is my hope that now Luke has unburdened his mind to us, his heart will be the tiniest bit lighter. Have a needle phobia could never... I do too! You find a way. You find a way to make it work. My wife helps. That's really the only way I could get through it. I, for one, really feel ready to face another day. After all, I have my friends and neighbors here to help me face it. There's one thing I wanted to show both you and Luke. What kind of therapy? Immunotherapy. So they inject you with things that you're allergic to and put you right on the cusp of what's it called? The shock you have from having something allergic. Anaphylactic shock, that's it. Put you right next to anaphylactic shock. And they keep you there for as long as possible until your body just gets over it. It's just like, you know what, F this. And just like, no, yep, anaphylactic, that's it. And yeah, basically they give you as little as they can to get up close to it and just keep you as close to that as possible until your body's like, yeah, F it. And like, flips the tables like, I ain't doing this crap anymore. And your body slowly like stops reacting to the stuff because it's always in your system all the time. And yeah, it's a thing. Don't have allergies, I'm safe. If you don't have allergies, you don't have to worry about it. Yep. So lucky you. I've had allergies my entire life. I actually managed to ace the allergy test. What does that mean? That means that they gave me 25 tests, and I scored a 24 out of 25. The one I didn't react to was the control. So I was allergic to everything. The lady who gave me the test had never seen that before. So lucky me. So yeah, it became clear that was something I needed to do so that I am not constantly in danger of infection, because that was something I was dealing with all the time. And yeah, it was bad. You have allergies, but you also have a wife, so there's that. Right? The wife is awesome. Oh, there's one last thing I wanted to say. I want to finish this story here before I got to get off track. There's one thing I wanted to show both you and Luke. It has to do with Wright's traditional industry. If you're interested in taking a look. Sure, it has to do with, like, ale or something? Oh, good. I was worried you had enough of me. My last errand for you, then, was to have a word with Siluk and bring him to the barley fields in front of the village. I'll be there tending to the crops until you arrive. Okay, and I'm going to stop here, and we will pick this up tomorrow, bright and early, 7 a.m. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll be back tomorrow.